Welcome to the channel, Jaden Chase, and these are some of the top stories making headlines today. Now, law enforcement has no excuses. I'm glad to see a member of law enforcement stepping forward to expose what has taken place. Now, if you agree and you want to justice for Donna Donaldson and her family, drop a like on the video and also drop your comment in the comment section. Now, nation, somebody has stepped forward to expose the police boyfriend in question. Now, it is said that he confided in another officer. Let me hear what I want. Look and listen.
Merits, can you confirm that Donnelly was strangled?
Listen, Noel, best friend that you showed his picture since night, he and one of my fellow co-worker that we are close is close to him, and he confirmed everything when we were reasoning on duty last week, Friday.
My God. So you're saying that Constable Williams confided in another constable?
Yes.
And confirmed that Donnelly was strangled to death by Kathy and Smith?
Yes. And they both tape her up into a garbage bag. They removed the settee fittings and they placed her in the settee and let the truck man dispose of her body. I was trying to get where did the body dispose, but they refused to give that information.
Mighty God! Jamaica breaking news. Constable Brown, what's your name again?
Constable Brown.
Constable Brown.
You know the lawyer say about eyewitnesses stepping forward, stating what they said that the eyewitnesses stated, based on what is now being said by members of law enforcement, and them should also be outraged. Many people are saying law enforcement will cover for law enforcement. Majority of Jamaicans are women. Whether you're a member of law enforcement or not, you should be outraged about what has taken place and the fact that if it is indeed true, are members of law enforcement who took the oath to serve and protect citizens. If it is indeed true that this is what has taken place, of course, the system, law enforcement themselves, should be outraged. There should be no worse criminal than a criminal who has been sworn into the security forces. Tell the truth. Now, the law is innocent until proven guilty. But tell me what you feel about the statements being made by this officer. I mean, if I say big up Andre Stevens, he might put in the work. Now on to the other stories making headlines today. No nation also happening in the headlines today with crime and violence at the levels that it is. This recent statement by the FLA has drawn media attention. Now, it is being said by the FLA that, of course, just as unarmed citizens have the right to intervene in any crime that they are seeing committed, licensed firearm holders can defend regular citizens. Now, they were quoted as saying, the firearm is granted to an individual to protect life and property, not only his life and his property. If a license holder should see someone in distress, they can intervene just like any private citizen could intervene, which is true. And if you see a crime being committed and you decide, say, you're going to help somebody grab a bag and you choose to run on a person and retrieve the bag, you are well within your right as a citizen to do so. What is also not known to most Jamaicans is that citizens also have the right to make a citizen's arrest. You can see someone doing wrong and effect a citizen's arrest and hold on upon a person. That's what you're a criminal. People don't even know that. But I feel like these are things that the country needs to be educated about, because the mindset of Jamaicans affect crime and violence as well. Yes, the people have developed a certain high level of violence and also a tolerance to the high level of violence being shown. But the reason why I feel like law enforcement and citizens can't interact on good terms is because I feel like citizens don't know the law. There are even some members of the law or of law enforcement who are not fully aware of the law either. There's also a law being put forward that when members of the public curse at certain members of the system, the state, you can be fined. up to $500,000 or time behind bars. Is that justice being split? If a member of law enforcement is caught doing the same to a citizen, will they also be fined that $500,000 are placed behind the bars? It can only be fair. Because if the state is willing to charge citizens for frustration, well, they must be willing to charge members of the state for their frustrations and the way they put it on other people. Because after taking the oath to serve and protect, you have to also protect the rights of citizens. And most law enforcement members are not even fully aware of that. Now, the FLA CEO was speaking against the background of an incident that took place recently, in which a licensed firearm holder foiled the attempted robbery of a nurse a short distance away from a police headquarters in St. Andrew. Now, he also stated that over the years, numerous of these attempts have been stopped by citizens who are lawfully and legally in possession of firearms. Talk to me, nation. Tell me how you feel about this. Some people have said this are going to push forward vigilantism. Is the state moving towards, or is the world moving towards movies? If you notice what takes place in the movies with superhero shows, is that crime and violence reach a level where vigilantes had to step in. But as I'm saying, the real superhero in this situation would be knowledge. Because the way people think and the options that people use to sort out sometimes simple situations, you have to wonder what the mindset of the people. And not just Jamaica, this happen. This happen right across the world. Human beings have become increasingly violent over time. Talk to me. Now on to the other stories making headlines today. Yes, Nation, now also making headlines today. It has been confirmed by the Office of Utility and Regulations, the OUR, that breaches occurred between January and March of the first quarter of the year, and that JPS and NWC customers are to be compensated $45.3 million for these breaches. Now, with tax at the level that it is, and with minimum wage at the level that it is, people have always asked the question, why are Jamaican utilities so high? As a matter of fact, the OUR said affected persons were entitled to a total of $53.4 million in compensation, but $8.1 million was attributed to breaches from NWC. And this is also we are talking about knowledge of what take place on the island. It is also said that a lot of these claims were not paid because the forms were not submitted by customers. People never go out there to claim the money that was owed to them by these utility companies. I mean, that's because people them did know, but don't most Jamaicans know that breaches occurred and that they were entitled to millions. In whichever way these utility companies plan to pay it out, whether them plan to give you cash or them plan to say, alright, you have this and you don't have to pay. You know, no more utilities until we. But as I believe, most citizens don't know them right. I'm gonna feel like the state has not taken the time to educate citizens on their rights. And remember, it is now becoming an issue. We're in certain communities where we see zones of special operations being implemented. Citizens and law enforcement are clash. And it's clear in some scenarios there's little to no respect for citizen rights. But also, citizens don't know their rights and what them can do with law enforcement. And it is also said for most customers, the compensatory payments were applied automatically to the affected customers' accounts. Talk to me. Tell me how you feel. Whether you have visited the island, you reside there, do you think utilities are a bit too high for where the minimum wage is at? And when we are talking about something like utilities, something where everybody is entitled to and need to use in one way or another, where the minimum wage is at, should be how a price point is figured. I don't know who would be most affected when there's a hike in price. or when there are breaches being committed. So talk to me in the comment section. I'm going to want to know a quick recap. Members of law enforcement have stepped forward to expose the police boyfriend of Donaldson. And I said that he confided in another officer. And the officer has stepped forward to expose what has taken place. Justice will be served on the case. Forensics already have got through all the evidence being presented. Also happening, the FLA says, of course, it is within the rights of licensed firearm holders to defend other citizens and their property. Talk to me. Tell me your feel about that statement there. And that is not a change in law. That is not a new law being passed. That is a confirmation that, yes, they are within their rights. Now, the OUR has also stated that our 2 utility companies have been caught in breaches and that millions have been paid out to customers. Talk to me. Tell me how you feel. Now, if you're new to the channel, it's a partial, but you like the reason, and of course, you like the point of view. Well, I'm suggesting to you that you click the subscribe icon and then the bell icon, and of course, put it on all. And this is how you know will be notified of all fresh content as soon as fresh content is uploaded and made available for you right here upon the platform. The like icon is also in close proximity to the share icon. Drop a like and also share. Tell a friend, tell them sister and them brother, for check out check out the reason. Join the discussion, comment section 24/7. Never lucky yet. Just be respectful and mindful of the guidelines. But other than that, drop your thoughts, your comments, and your opinions there. We can continue the reasoning via the comment section. And to the reason again, live, love, and prosper. Stay tuned.